Bam. Good morning. It's week number 8 of semester 2. This week has been a very sleepy week. I did start this video in the midweek. We've got pharmacology. I'm studying, but I'm also going to the gym. And you can't really study at the gym necessarily, you know? Take that for what you will. Tutoring was helpful. That's a calm amount of my foundation. I'm just almost afraid of like indications and contraindications because my professor goes hard on that, but also the antagonist, agonist, and things like that. In terms of the mechanism of action, he kind of goes hard on that too, and he hitting us with double negatives, you know. So all those things in mind, I'm going to, I guess, try to emphasize on that, but I guess we'll see. We've got 2 days. Today's Wednesday, studying tonight. We have long class days too, which is kind of tough. But tonight, tomorrow, and then exam Friday. I do feel more confident than I did previous. Feel pretty much the same, which is kind of sketch. I guess we'll see in the next 2 days how much better I feel. All right. Real quick, I just want to say, I was studying at in class just now, and I was falling asleep and I'm hungry. You know, we ended at like 4:30. It's about 7:30. I mean, I left 20 minutes ago, but I wanted to say, I was falling asleep. I'm getting sleepy sitting in my, in the classroom and studying. So it wasn't effective. I should go home, eat something, and maybe study a little more, right? The moment I sat down in this car, wide awake. Wide awake, bro. What the hell? I have like a physiological response to go straight to bed the moment we start studying. Can you believe this guy? Alright, whatever. Alright. Night before the exam. I need to pop off tomorrow. I've studied hard. I've studied decently. There's just so much material and so much medication. And I need to do a good job tomorrow. Like, I need this. And honestly, just recording this is borderline terrifying, you know? Like, I need this so bad. So bad. The morning of the exam. This is my attempt at combating learned helplessness. I messed up on my first exam, didn't do so great, and now I am accepting and understanding that that first exam and those results are not a representation of me and what I can do in the future. And same should be said about anybody else. And so I studied a lot. I've studied a good chunk. I've created a chart to try to remember all the medications, and they're kind of complicated. So, I mean, maybe I'll show my way, the way I did it after, if I pass. Because I'm not showing nobody nothing if I fail. All right, we'll see. Post exam. Let's go. Oh my God, I needed that so bad. So bad. I'm like nearly shaking. I'm not shaking, but I'm like nearly shaking. You can never feel like you've studied enough. There's a question about like how do opioids work, and is it like, potassium channels opening, and is it potassium, the K plus coming into the cell or out of the cell, and there's like two questions on how it works, and dang, I was fighting monsters and demons trying to figure that out and just try to remember, because it was either hyperpolarization, depolarization, because of either sodium efflux, influx, and you're kind of thinking it's the opposite. It's just so many, like, there's no point in me even explaining it. It's just how does action potential hyperpolarize in a sense. And this is a time that my 4 years of neuroscience has come into clutch. I recreated the graph, and then I try to figure out how does the ATPase work. Is it three potassium coming in or out? Oh my, there's channels opening. When are they opening? Depolarization versus hyperpolarization. I'm fighting monsters. On the way out, we saw him and I asked him real quick and he said it was potassium efflux. Let's go. Oh my god, like I'm still in there. I told y'all, I knew it. Learn, don't fall victim to learn helplessness. Just because you didn't do great one time, two times, three, four, five, six, seven times, it is not indicative of how you will do in the future, right? Or how you'll do on the next turn, right? Study hard, work hard, put that time and effort in, and you'll get there. And start early. Honestly, I think really because I started so much earlier, because I slacked off, a day or two, three, four, but I started 2 weeks early, and I think it paid out. Honestly, that's really the way to go about it. This was the one time that we did have enough time to study for this farm exam. We had like 2 weeks of it, 2 weeks time. Most exams are like 2 days, 3 days apart, so not always possible. But I guess those exams that you get freebies on, in a sense, like freebie in the sense of time, definitely you study hard and don't fall complacent, right? That's how you kind of fumble or mess up, right? And then it's just high stress all the time. And that's kind of what I did for the last one. I fumbled, I messed up, and now I'm clawing back. God damn. Now we have structure lab where we get to see the nice people that donated their bodies for our education. We get to look at those and see what that's all about. But passed. Oh my god. I'm still in it. Let's go. All right. Just a little bit of the cadaver lab, structure lab. We got to see, brains and things. That was pretty cool. I think that's the last one for the semester. It's honestly awesome to always see. I get to actually feel and see the body parts. Pretty surreal. But what I really wanted to go over was post-exam stuff, part 2, continuation, right? Honestly, I didn't study every single day, like, Monday and Tuesday of this week. I didn't really study so hard, but the fact that I started much earlier and I got to meet with a tutor that did the course helped so much. Just starting earlier is honestly so helpful. And finding ways to remember things is really good. Having certain ways to remember medications are very crucial, like dumb ways or like even using the names themselves, right? Here's my chart I made for all the anti-seizure medications. You can kind of see that. I guess maybe pause the video and you'll see all the different ways that I tried to remember the medications. Some have side effects, some do not. A classic medication, succinimide. It sucks for kids. It's classically used in children, absence, epilepsy. And if you didn't know, absence and absent is spelled the same. Absent is just French. They just started using it in class, and I had no idea. I'm like, I swear that says absence, But hey, I found that to be like super helpful, right? Things like that, and I basically rewrote that chart multiple times, and I would have it basically anchored in my brain as they're next to each other. So you see the arrows, right? In the top row, I have like these anchored pieces there. So these were because they're prodrugs, right? And then Keppra and, well, I can't say these names anymore. Keppra was better or less efficient than the other one, and then phenobarbital and primidone. Primidone was the prodrug of phenobarbital. Like I had those top sections just an anchor in my mind, and then I associated all of them to each other. After that, and that's how I memorized kind of the chart. I made that chart myself, and I think it was pretty helpful, right? And my grade kind of shows for it to an extent. And I think there's just things that you have to do. Some people have other silly names to kind of remember other things. I can't come up with one on the top of my head. I'm kind of fried from all that, but hey, it's done. It took a lot of studying and just, I think, starting early and using good acronyms to kind of remember everything. You see how all of them are kind of related and connected. I feel like that's definitely the way to go about it. Yeah. Now, just the end of the week, what I'm grateful for having a great tutor. She had a lot of these acronyms herself and she showed it to me, and super helpful. And I'm glad she was able to help me, well, begin studying even like 2 weeks ahead. That's honestly crucial, starting so much earlier. Although I kind of slacked off like Monday, Tuesday. Not that, not completely. I was in class and stuff, but I wasn't studying as hard and heavy as like the last 2 days. But starting so much earlier, I think it definitely made a difference. Definitely helped because you don't get everything all at once, right? So whatever sticks the first time around sticks, and then a second run through some more sticks, third run through sticks some more, right? And then last night, or like before after class ended, me and my classmates stayed back and we went over like basically everything. And she shared some information like valporic acid or valporate. It's contraindicated in pregnancy. Contraindicated as in like they can't have it, right? Or it's category X, which is basically lethal for the fetus, right? So they can't have it then, and that came up on the exam, and that was pretty good. Like even though I studied a ton myself, that's something that I didn't have. I was sharing my acronyms with her, and I hope she took some away and was helpful. But she shared some with me. She reminded me that was a thing, right? And huge, right? And I saw it, I clicked it, kept going, right? Like I finished the exam with like 9 minutes left, like I had to take my time with it. But that was good. That was great. I'm satisfied, if you will. And once again, that first exam was not a proper representation of me. And your failures are not a representation of you. All right. On to next week. It's packed. Bye.